Bring me back to my Taekwondo days. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Bannon comes firing forward now, trying to close this out.
She's listening to her coach so well. He asked for the blitz. She hit the blitz.
Beautiful.
And look at this.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
She wanted to finish in this fight, and she just might get it.
Oh.
Bannon trying to put an exclamation point at the very end on this.
Wow.
Oh,
how tough are these ladies?
Shauna Bannon found out the hard way. Before their historic clash at UK Fighting Championships 13, Bannon dropped a massive bombshell that sent shockwaves through the MMA world. In a pre-fight interview, she was asked the question everyone wanted to know: is the knockout on your mind? And Bannon fired back with supreme confidence: I want to knock her out. Do you have a prediction of when you get to do it? Second round. Thank you.
Is the knockout on your mind?
I want to knock her out.
Do you have a prediction of when you get to do it?
Second round.
Thank you.
Bold words, dangerous words, and words that would come back to haunt her the moment she stepped inside that cage against the rising British sensation, Dakota Ditcheva. Stay with us as we break down how this prediction completely backfired, what Dakota had to say in response, and the shocking revelation that came after the fight that changed everything we thought we knew about this matchup. Now, when Dakota Ditcheva heard about Bannon's knockout prediction, she didn't fire back with trash talk. Instead, she showed the maturity and focus that has made her one of the most feared fighters outside the UFC. When asked how she viewed this fight and what it meant for her career, Dakota responded, I mean, I feel very lucky to be on the card. This is the final for the athletes that are all fighting for £1 million, and I feel like only my second fight in PFL, I've been able to get on the undercard for that. It's just a massive thing. So I'm quite proud of myself that I've been given that opportunity. But yeah, I'm just trying to treat it as every other fight. I'm not trying to think too big. Obviously, it's my first one in the States as well. I want to make sure I'm making an impression, a good impression. And I only got less than a round out of my last fight. So I want people to be able to see a little bit more about what I'm here for.
I mean, I feel very lucky to be on the card, you know, like this is the final for the athletes that are all fighting for £1 million. And I feel like only my second fight in PFL, I've been able to get on the undercard for that. It's just a massive thing. So I'm quite proud of myself that, you know, I've been given that opportunity. But yeah, I'm just trying to treat it as every other fight. I'm not trying to like think too big. Obviously, it's my first one in the States as well. I want to make sure I make an impression, a good impression. And I only got like less than a round out of my last fight, so I want people to be able to see a little bit more about what I'm here for.
Classic Dakota. While Bannon was out there making bold predictions, Ditcheva was laser focused on her craft, and that focus, it would prove to be the difference maker. February 29th, 2020, UK Fighting Championships 13, 5 rounds for the UKFC Flyweight Championship.
4-2 record for her, and we start exchanging leg kicks.
And I'm excited to see this striking exchange between the two.
Yeah,
both well known for that Muay Thai background, a record I believe of 11-1-1. Her mum was a pro fighter as well. She's a very similar style.
From the opening bell, it was clear who was in control. Dakota immediately took center cage, using her long reach to establish distance. Her jab was snapping Bannon's head back, sending a message right from the start. Round 1. Dakota dictated everything. Every time Bannon tried to step in, she got shut down with straight punches and sharp kicks. Round 2. Bannon tried to push the pace, but Dakota's counter-striking was on another level. A clean 1-2 combination stopped Bannon in her tracks.
But Shauna Bannon, I called a number of her fights at the IMAFs, some in Europe and then some at the Worlds, and she impressed me so much. I believe she medaled, but I saw at least 2 fights that she won, and the way she won them was with aggression and excellent striking.
Round 3. Bannon showed real heart, trying to make it messy, but Dakota's composure stayed intact. Her footwork was incredible, circling out of danger and countering every aggressive attempt. Round 4. Dakota trapped Bannon near the cage and landed a devastating combination, jab, cross, body kick, that drew massive reactions from the crowd.
Liam McCracken, Mohamed Mokayev, Marlon Jones, who we'll see in action in a bit. And he is also working very hard with Dakota, evolving her skills and turning her from just that stand-up striker into that mixed martial artist.
But then we look at the other side of the coin in the SBG Dublin lab. She's got Patty Houlihan in there.
Round 5. The final round. Bannon knew she needed something big. She threw spinning attacks, high kicks, rushed combinations. But Dakota countered beautifully, landing the cleaner, more damaging shots. A sharp right hand in the final minutes sealed it.
Both ladies working hard at close quarters, working in the clinch. A separation there, and Dakota lands a shot. Shauna catches the kick. Shauna barrels in like neither of these women are willing to give an inch.
Oh, now looking to catch the kick and come with that overhand right. Shauna with slightly more experience.
When the final bell rang, there was no question. The judges delivered a unanimous decision victory for Dakota Ditcheva. That second-round knockout Bannon predicted never happened. Instead, she survived 5 brutal rounds against a precision striking machine.
Again, working that lead thigh.
And in on the clinch straight away. Shauna Bannon. And just with 2 shots, you could see that the left thigh of the SBG Dublin 24 girl, Shauna, is starting to get lit up.
But here's where this story takes an unbelievable turn. Weeks after the fight, Shauna Bannon revealed something that stunned the entire MMA community. She was unknowingly 6 to 7 weeks pregnant during the fight. In an interview with Sporf, Bannon opened up about this shocking discovery. Fighting pregnant? That's kind of crazy, isn't it? I was like 6 weeks pregnant fighting Dakota. That was a big shock to me as a human being. I only found out 10 days after the fight.
It made so much sense because when I was cutting weight, like we were cutting weight. So Paddy was like, don't cut weight until I get there. And I was like, oh, we'll be grand. So me and Sarah started cutting weight. Sarah had never cut weight with anyone before. What we now know, like Sarah thought I was having a nap, but I passed out during that weight cut. Woke up 2 hours later, like what was going on. Paddy then arrived, we were cutting weight. I wasn't sweating. Like my body was not sweating. Jace wanted the fluids.
In a later interview with Bloody Elbow, Bannon detailed how the pregnancy affected her performance without her even knowing. My weight cut for that was crazy. I just wasn't sweating. That weight cut was a bit of a disaster. I was like 0.3 over. That 0.3 took so long to come off, it was crazy. So when I weighed in, I just had no energy, and I slept for hours, but I didn't refuel.
And we got to the weigh, and we're after doing like the weight cut or whatever. I still had a bit to go, and I think it was like where we were staying was like 45-minute drive. So I drove with the special on. I was like, I'll be on weight when I get there. Got there, I was still 0.3 over, and it was for a title. So they were like, look, I was 57 and I had to be 57 or 56.7. But they were like, look, if you don't make the weight, it's not for the belt. And I was like, no, I'm making the weight. I want to fight for the belt. So then we went back to a sauna. Me and Paddy were in a sauna for an hour. He was drenched. And I mean, I was bone dry. Like there was no sweat coming out of me. It was crazy. Like I just stopped sweating. So obviously like your first trimester in pregnancy is like the most, everything's changing because your whole body is like.
It explains the unusual fatigue, the lack of sharpness, and why her body just wasn't responding the way it normally did. She went 5 rounds in a championship fight while carrying her son Jace in her belly. Fast forward to today, and both fighters have taken very different paths. Dakota Ditcheva has become an absolute superstar. She's now 15-0 as a professional, completely undefeated. She won the 2024 PFL Women's Flyweight World Championship, becoming the youngest PFL champion in history. She defeated former UFC title challenger Taila Santos with a devastating second-round finish to claim the $1 million prize. In July 2025, she returned to PFL Africa in Cape Town, dominating Bellator veteran Sumiko Inaba despite breaking her hand during the fight. She's now signed a multi-year deal with PFL and has set her sights on records that seem impossible. She wants to retire undefeated like Khabib Nurmagomedov at 29-0 or Floyd Mayweather at 50-0.
This is where Dakota Ditcheva hunts the liver. She will attack
with body shots.
Combination and clinches. Oh, the clinch is really working for Ditcheva. She getting the knee, finds its way to the face of Samiko Nava, and an elbow from Dakota.
You want to be here, backed against the fence.
All knees, the left hand. Bye.
107 for Ekaterina. She passes hydration. 124, she makes weight.
Dana White, the most powerful man in combat sports, has just sent a massive bombshell message to PFL champion Dakota Ditcheva after witnessing the terrifying performance of Ekaterina Vanderyeva, the woman they call Barbie. Her hitting speed, her ferocious power, her ice-cold precision inside the cage. White couldn't ignore what he saw. His message was clear. Ekaterina Vanderyeva is the biggest threat Dakota Ditcheva will ever face. And now, Barbie has fired back with a warning of her own, a warning that has the entire MMA world on edge. Stay tuned, because this rivalry is about to explode. Let's talk about why Dana White is so concerned. Ekaterina Vanderyeva isn't just another fighter. She's a three-time Muay Thai world champion who has been destroying elite competition for over a decade. Born on January 20th, 1991 in Belarus, this 34-year-old striker has compiled an incredible record of 58 wins in kickboxing alone, with 16 knockouts. Her teammates nicknamed her Barbie because of her beauty and resemblance to the famous doll. But make no mistake, once that cage door closes, she transforms into something terrifying. Her overhand right is devastating, her kicks are vicious, her movement is razor sharp, and she has something Dakota Ditcheva has never faced before: years of experience against the absolute best in the world. Vanderyeva even holds a majority decision victory over former UFC strawweight champion Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Let that sink in. She beat one of the greatest female strikers in UFC history. When Dana White saw her latest performance, he knew immediately this woman could end Dakota's undefeated run. And then came the call-out that shook the MMA world. Ekaterina Vanderyeva looked directly into the camera and delivered this bone-chilling message to Dakota Ditcheva. Dakota Ditcheva, you think you're the queen of this division? I've fought legends. I've beaten champions. Your impressive record means nothing to me. I am the biggest threat you will ever face. I've been destroying top-tier competition while you were still building your name. It's time the world sees what a true world-class striker can do. Come September, let's settle this once and for all.
Честно скажу, то, что было в прошлом, никак не повлияло на мою самооценку, потому что все как бы понимают, что, например, когда я с Бунта на Супергерл боксировала, как бы были многочисленные экспертные мнения, когда считали очки многие, есть специальные как бы такие фирмы, которые этим занимаются, как бы все говорили, что это абсолютно как бы слитые бои. Что касается, например, тоже тот, да, вроде выиграл бой, пропустил сонную артерию, ну, блин, так бывает, было обидно, конечно, ну, чё так, вот. А последний, да, у меня было просто моральное уже истощение, честно сказать, хотелось уйти из спорта, что я и сделала, Ну, как-то вот ушла вроде месяц назад. Буквально он Чепиши предложил мне продление контракта, я просто сказала...
Those are fighting words, ladies and gentlemen. And coming from someone with Vanderyeva's resume, they carry serious weight. The question now is, how will Dakota Ditcheva respond? Dakota Ditcheva didn't take long to fire back. The undefeated PFL Women's Flyweight champion, riding a perfect 15-0 record with 12 knockouts, took to Twitter to send her own message. I've heard it all before. Legends? Champions? I've beaten them too. Tyla Santos was supposed to expose me. I finished her in 2 rounds. Every single opponent who stepped up has been knocked down. You want September? You've got it. But don't be surprised when I add another highlight reel knockout to my collection. The throne is mine. Come take it if you can. Vintage Dakota. Confidence. Fearless. Ready for war.
Pull out when you sit down. Pull it right here. Get up here.
Oh, that.
Drop back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You got two. Yeah.
At just 26 years old, Ditcheva has already become the youngest champion in PFL history, the first British woman to win a major MMA world title, and the face of women's MMA outside the UFC. Her knockout ratio of 80% is absolutely terrifying. She doesn't just beat opponents, she destroys them. So let's break this down. Who wins if these two collide? Dakota Ditcheva, record 15-0, 12 KOs, 1 submission. Age 26 years old. Style explosive Muay Thai striker with devastating power, strengths, speed, timing, knockout power, range control. Recent win dominated Sumiko Inaba in July 2025. Ekaterina Vanderyeva, record 58-7 in kickboxing, 16 KOs. Age 34 years old. Style technical veteran striker with world-class experience. Strengths counter-striking, fight IQ, toughness, experience. Notable win majority decision over Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This matchup is fascinating. It's youth versus experience. Explosive power versus calculated precision. An undefeated rising star versus a battle-tested veteran. Dakota's advantage lies in her speed, her knockout power, and her ability to finish fights early. She's finished 9 consecutive opponents in the PFL. That kind of finishing instinct is rare, but Vanderyeva brings something Dakota hasn't truly faced: years of experience at the highest level. She's competed against legends in one championship, Glory Kickboxing, and on the global stage. She knows how to survive pressure, set traps, and capitalize on mistakes. If this fight goes into deep waters, Vanderyeva's experience could be the difference. But if Dakota lands clean early, it could be over in a flash. One thing is certain, if this fight happens, fireworks are guaranteed. This rivalry comes at a critical time for Dakota Ditcheva's career. Despite being the PFL's biggest star, Ditcheva has faced frustrating inactivity in 2025. She wasn't included in this year's PFL World Tournament, leaving her without a clear path forward for months. Earlier this year, she expressed her frustration publicly, saying, "I want to fight. This, for me now, especially not having anything even lined up, is really mentally challenging." The good news, Ditcheva re-signed with the PFL in July 2025 after her dominant win over Sumiko Inaba, committing to a multi-year, multi-fight deal. Meanwhile, Dana White and the UFC have been circling. Multiple analysts have suggested trading for Ditcheva, calling her a potential megastar who could become the face of women's MMA globally.
Representing Belarus, stepping into action is Ekaterina Barbie Vanderyeeva.
And we're seeing that.
Down goes Gerchinska! Wow!
But she was caught. Maybe the confidence was too high. Barbie connecting with a beautiful shot.
The UFC president has sent a massive message to Dakota Ditcheva about a potential fight with the woman they call the Undertaker's sister, Ekaterina Vanderyeeva. And trust me, this is the kind of warning that could change everything. But here's where it gets even crazier. Dakota fired back on Twitter with a message that has the entire combat sports community buzzing.
Thumb and a right hand. Another one. Big one. Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hand of fake. Another knockout for Dakota Ditcheva.
Let's dive in. So what exactly did Dana White say that has everyone talking? According to sources close to the UFC president, Dana White issued a direct warning to Dakota Ditcheva, telling her that if she wants to truly prove she's the best in the world, she needs to face Ekaterina Vanderyeeva, and he's not sugarcoating what that means. White reportedly said that Ekaterina is unlike any opponent Dakota has faced before. We're talking about a fighter who has destroyed legends in one championship, who has competed at the absolute highest level of Muay Thai and kickboxing, and who transforms into something terrifying once that cage door closes. But here's the kicker. Dana didn't just suggest this fight. He specifically warned Dakota that Ekaterina's experience, power, and cold-blooded fighting style could be the ultimate test. This isn't just another opponent. This is the kind of challenge that could define Dakota's entire career. The message was clear. If Dakota wants to cement her legacy as one of the greatest, she can't avoid this fight. And knowing Dakota's fearless mentality, she wasn't about to back down. Now, let's talk about why everyone calls Ekaterina Vanderyeeva the Undertaker's sister. People see her and think Barbie, blonde, beautiful, and glamorous outside the cage. But the moment that bell rings, she becomes something completely different. Cold, calculating, destructive. Born on January 20th, 1991 in Minsk, Belarus, Ekaterina has been training in Muay Thai since she was a teenager. Her dedication and fierce attitude made her a standout in the European fighting scene from the very beginning. But what makes her truly dangerous is her striking mastery. We're talking about years of competing against the best in the world. Vicious kicks that can break ribs. Sharp, precise movements that come from facing legends in one championship. and an ability to read opponents that only comes from surviving absolute wars inside the cage. Her nickname isn't just for show. When Ekaterina fights, she brings an aura of inevitable destruction, just like the Undertaker himself. Opponents have said fighting her feels like staring into the abyss. There's no emotion, no hesitation, just pure violence executed with surgical precision.
0.0107. 107 for Ekaterina. She passes hydration. $124, she makes weight.
The question everyone's asking is, can Dakota handle that level of experience and brutality? And this is where Dakota Ditcheva showed the world exactly why she's different from every other fighter out there. After Dana White's warning went public, Dakota took to Twitter with a message that sent shockwaves through the MMA community. Now that is the response of a true champion. Dakota isn't just accepting the challenge, she's demanding it. She's calling out Ekaterina directly and making it clear that she's not intimidated by the reputation, the experience, or the nickname. Fans immediately went crazy in the comments. Thousands of retweets, hundreds of thousands of likes, and everyone asking the same question. When is this fight happening? The MMA world has been starving for a matchup like this. Youth versus experience, speed versus power, the future versus the legend. And now both fighters have made it clear they want this fight. Let's break down what this fight would actually look like if it happens. Dakota Ditcheva's advantages. First, Dakota is younger, faster, and currently at the peak of her physical abilities. She's undefeated in MMA with a record that includes multiple knockout finishes. Her Muay Thai background gives her explosive striking, perfect timing, and lethal combinations. Dakota's fight IQ is off the charts. She controls range like a chess master, knows exactly when to strike, and has shown composure under pressure that's rare for someone her age. Every opponent she's faced has been dominated, and most don't make it to the final bell. Ekaterina's advantages. But Ekaterina brings something Dakota hasn't faced yet. Seasoned, world-class experience. She's fought and beaten legends. She's been in wars that tested every aspect of her skills and mental toughness. Ekaterina's striking is more refined through years of high-level competition. Her kicks carry devastating power, her clinch work is brutal, and her ability to turn fights into gritty, grinding battles could neutralize Dakota's speed advantage.
Good counter there from Bandaryava.
Janitol says he has to be very careful with the erratic.
Here's the thing about experience versus youth. Fights aren't won on paper. Ekaterina has the tools to shock the world if Dakota underestimates her even for a second. One perfectly timed strike, one moment of catching Dakota off guard, and everything changes. But Dakota has proven time and time again that she rises to every challenge. The bigger the stage, the brighter she shines. This fight would be an absolute war, and honestly, that's exactly what makes it so compelling. So where do we go from here? With Dana White publicly pushing for this fight, and both Dakota and Ekaterina making it clear they want it, the pressure is on the organizations to make it happen. The big question is, which promotion gets this fight? Dakota is currently dominating in PFL, while Ekaterina has competed across multiple organizations including one championship. If the UFC or PFL can secure both fighters, this could easily be a main event or co-main event on a major card. The buzz this fight would generate is massive. We're talking about a potential Fight of the Year candidate before it even happens. Dana White's involvement suggests he sees the massive potential here. This isn't just another fight, this is the kind of matchup that creates stars and defines legacies.
Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, here is Catherine the Animal Corgine. She weighed in at 125 1/2 pounds. Her record also undefeated at 6 victories, including 5 wins by knockout. Fighting out of Manchester, England, here is dangerous Dakota Ditcheva.
Catherine Corrigines sent a massive bombshell message to Dakota Ditcheva that would come back to haunt her. Catherine Corrigines: "So, I want that challenge. I want that hard fight. I want to have to brawl and bang. And I'm ready for that. And I think after the first 3 that were kind of just..."
So I want that challenge. I want that hard fight. I want to have to brawl and bang. And I'm ready for that. And I think after the first 3 that were kind of just...
The American fighter was ready for war. She wanted the challenge. She wanted to bang. But what she didn't know was that she was calling out a knockout machine. Dakota Ditcheva's response was ice cold and calculated. Dakota Ditcheva: "Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I listened to so many people talking throughout this whole tournament. It's nice to get in the cage and showcase my skills and shut them up that way because I'm not really bothered about proving them wrong. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of get in the cage and prove to myself that they're all just talkers."
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I listened to so many people talking like throughout this whole tournament. It's nice to get in the cage and showcase my skills and shut them up that way because I'm not really bothered about like proving them wrong. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of get in the cage and prove to myself that they're all just talkers. Yes.
All just talkers. Those words would prove prophetic. And after absolutely destroying Corrigines in brutal fashion, Dakota took to Twitter with a simple message that echoed through the MMA world. Actions speak louder than words. Dakota Ditcheva and Catherine Corrigines, a fight that shocked the entire USA. From trash talk to a brutal first-round finish, this match proved Dakota isn't just hype. She's a knockout machine.
Plum and a right hand. Oh, another one! Big one! Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hand fake! Another knockout for Dakota Ditcheva!
Let's break it down. The tension before this fight was palpable. Catherine Corrigines, an aggressive American fighter with a reputation for toughness, wasn't backing down from anyone. She specifically called out Dakota, demanding the hard fight, the brawl, the battle. Corrigines came into this matchup with confidence, having fought through tough competition. She believed her aggressive style and willingness to engage in firefights would be the key to handing Dakota her first loss.
A lot of clinch work so far, all out from distance. Oh, right hand. And there's the clinch.
And it's going to be a battle of 2 types of clinches. Corrigines, of course, looking for the takedown. Ditcheva will look to stay in this clinch and try to set up knees to the body and shots upstairs with her punches.
But Dakota Ditcheva, she'd heard it all before. Throughout the entire PFL tournament, fighters talked. They promised, they threatened, and one by one, Dakota silenced them, not with words, but with knockouts. The British Muay Thai specialist had built her reputation on precision striking and devastating power. She wasn't interested in trash talk. She was interested in the results. And her Twitter response after the weigh-ins made her intentions crystal clear. She was there to prove Catherine was just another talker. The stage was set, the smart cage awaited, and only one fighter would walk out with their hand raised. When the cage doors closed at PFL 10, Catherine Corrigines had her chance to back up every word she'd said. She wanted to brawl, she wanted to bang, and for about 60 seconds, she tried.